Alright, in part 3 of this video series, we're going to be taking a look at creating a filled-in star shape with Easy Stone. And then we're going to take this heart shape and make a baseball heart out of it. Now the first thing I want to do is I want to show you the Easy Stone way. And then we're going to be taking a look at Hotfix Era, because this is one area where Hotfix Era really shines. And so we'll look at the two different options and show you how all this works. So let's go ahead and make this a little bit smaller here, and I'm just going to kind of tweak this how I want it to be. So we have our heart shape. I'm going to make a duplicate of it down here, and we have our star shape, and I'm going to make a duplicate of it down here. Alright, so what are we going to do here with our star shape? Well, let's try out a couple of options. So the first option we're going to use is, again, we want to stick with all SS10 stones. So we're going to come over here to the Stone Fill tab. We have SS10 stones specified. So we're going to go ahead and click on the Island Fill option. And you can see it kind of makes several duplicates, in this case only one. And then what we're going to do is select both of those and come to the Stone tab and hit Alt, Add Stones. And what that will do is that will detect corners. I tell you what, let's look at what happens if we don't use our Alt key. If we click on Add Stones, you can see right here at the corners, they're not perfect. There's not a stone perfectly right dead on that corner. And when we select those and hold Alt, Add Stones, then you can see it's basically right there at the corners. It is perfect. Exactly what we want. So we're going to go ahead and delete the stone paths. And now we can kind of modify and tweak the result that we got. So we're going to delete that stone, and we're going to pull this one over. And we're going to do that for every point. Okay? So you can see here there's kind of a bigger space there. Maybe what we can do is select all of those and hit Shift P. I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and delete a couple. And so you can see here we have this, we still have the same issue, so we're just going to change that. Same thing here, we're going to delete this one and slide this one over. We're going to delete this one, slide this one over. And then we're going to do the same thing up top here. We're going to just go ahead, and we know we have an overlapping stone there, so we're going to hit Shift P, and then we're going to delete this one and slide it over. Alright. So now the next thing we're going to do is we're just going to move this stone right here. We're going to move it down and see if we can't fit another one in there. It's pretty tight for this example, but it'll cut out okay. I've done enough of them to know, so we could squeeze one more stone in there. So let's go ahead and move this, and then we can move this. So we'll move this one down. Move this one up a little bit. And that's about as tight as you're going to get this fill. That's all we can do. Alright. So that looks pretty good. We don't have enough room in the middle to put another stone. I mean, technically, honestly, I've done enough rhinestone templates to cut. Even if it's overlapping a skosh there, it'd probably be okay. But for this example, we won't do that. So that is our filled in star. And really what we want to do is we want to compare this result with the hotfix result. So let me just show you hotfix. So let's go ahead and export this shape. So we'll hit star. And I'm not saying that you should buy Hotfix and not buy Easy Stone by any means, but I just want to give you a full look at the options that are available to you. So let's go ahead and create a new design here. And let's open up that star shape. Where's that star shape go? There's our star shape. And watch how super easy this is. So convert to Hotfix. Well, we have to give it a color in order to do that. So we give it a color, and then we can do a radial hotfix, and that's it. That's it. That's all done. And see what the result is? You have the right here at the corners. You can see now it doesn't have as many stones as what our star has, an extra stone at every one of these these corner points here. But you can see in the middle, it basically did what we did in Easy Stone. It has basically the same basic result that we did in Easy Stone. So, but you can see it's just a one-click thing. Boom, it did it, and it did a good job doing it. So, very, very easy to do. So let's back over to CorelDRAW here. This one is a little bit more dense with stones, and that's just because we were able to manually tweak it and make it a bit more dense. So I'm actually going to tell you what, let's make these red for our design. Rename and fill. And we'll go ahead and just center that stone to that outline. And we'll go ahead and copy this over. Then we'll delete our outline shape because we don't need those anymore. And let's see, what else are we going to do here? Let's take this design. We're going to copy it up here. Something like that. I'm just going to use my arrow keys to fine-tune its placement. And then I'm just going to delete these extra stones that we grabbed and delete my shape. Alright, so it's coming together. Now we just have our little heart shape to deal with. And we'll take a look at how we're going to do that. So what I'm going to do here is grab my 3-point curve tool and add an extra line. So from edge to edge, something along those lines right there. And then what we're going to do is copy it. So let's select the whole thing, click and drag, right click to make a duplicate, mirror it, and then pick it up from this node and drag it right on top of that node and delete. Okay, so now we have those two parts. Now we're going to grab our Smart Fill tool and click and change the fill color and click. So now we have 3 separate parts of our baseball heart. Let me show you how to handle this. So the way we're going to do this here inside Easy Stone is we're going to come over here to the Stone Fill tab, choose Island Fill, and you can see what it does. It offset, 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 right? So we're going to select all of those parts, hold down the Alt key, and we're actually going to switch over to Crystal. Hold down the Alt key, that will detect corners, and click Add Stones. And so now there's a stone at every single corner, which is exactly what we want. Okay, so I'm going to select all of those, and we're going to hit Delete Stone Paths, because we do have some overlapping issues, but we'll deal with that later. Then we're going to do our next shape, and then we're going to do the same thing essentially. Island Fill. We're going to hold down our Alt key and click and drag, make a selection of all of that, and then back over here, Alt, Add Stones to detect corners, which we've now done. And this piece over here we don't even need. Get rid of that altogether. Alright, so now we can go ahead and select the whole lot and choose Delete Stone Paths, because we don't need that. And in fact, we could probably just delete this whole half and we'll mirror it. So what I'm going to do first is select these stones right here, and I'm going to change those to red. Okay, then we'll fix the overlaps here, and the way we're fixing those overlaps is just kind of nudging our stones about a little bit. Now if we want to keep all SS10 stones, what I would probably do is cheat. I'd just make these two SS6s. Okay, but you know, it's up to you, whatever you want to do there, but that's probably how I would just quickly remedy that situation and keep a nice tight fill. Now, the rest of this, I'm actually going to select the whole design, and I'm going to come over here to the Miscellaneous tab and click on Check Spacing to get rid of any overlapping stones that were discovered. And then what we'll do is we'll select the whole design, flip it, so we're going to mirror it, and just put these back right on top of one another. And then we do have a little bit of work to do, obviously. We have to kind of fill this in a little bit better than what it currently is. So we'll do that quick. And again, I would probably take advantage of the fact that we'll use more than one stone. I'm cheating here because we want to use all SS10 stones. But I'm just kind of giving you an idea of one way to tackle this project and get it done very, very quickly and have really great results. So we'll just do it quick here just to give you a little example. Alright, so then it's just a matter of modifying this end result here to get the look that we want the end design to have. And that can be challenging. I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and select the whole thing and delete stone. We need to delete the overlapping stones. So there's check spacing. Alright. So then we can just come in here and we can kind of modify things a little bit. When you have an area here where we can't really fit in another stone, I don't think, but let's just go ahead and try it anyhow. So we'll just select that little area there and we'll come over here to editing and hit respace. And yes, I don't know that we're going to be able to fit all these stones on here, but we'll try it again, respace. Yeah, we can fit it. It's pretty tight, but it does fit. So we'll go ahead and leave that in place just like it is. I think, yeah, we can do that. And just make, you just have to come in here and depending on the situation, we just have to make some adjustments to how these stones are all going to interact with one another. So we'll get it close, and again what we're going to do is delete half the design and then take this half and mirror it again. Okay, and then we do need one more stone probably here, and I'll just go ahead and resize that stone. And the stone is overlapping. And then probably what I'll do here is take these two stones and shift them a bit, and then we'll grab this respace function. Respace that again. Try that one more time. There we go. That gives us the result that we're looking for, and that looks pretty good. So one more time, just so we don't have to duplicate our efforts. I think it's just as easy to duplicate this half of the design. Flip it over. And bring it back across. Alright, so we're going to delete our stone paths. And we're also going to come in here and delete any overlapping stones. And that basically would be the finished product. So probably what I would do here, because I don't think there's enough room here to fit another full-size stone. Maybe there is. Yep, there is. Okay, so we'll go ahead and do that. And I think there's probably room to fit a full-size stone here too. That is the finished product. And I would be really happy with this. I might just nudge these stones over a little bit. Nudge this one over a little bit. But we did cheat because we did use a few SS6 stones. But you can see the fill is a nice looking end result. I don't mind using the smaller stones as necessary. Actually, there is one more thing we're going to do to this design though. We're going to actually select every other stone here and rename and fill. And then likewise here we're going to do the same thing. So we just come back up here, every other stone, rename and fill, same thing, every other stone, rename and fill. Alright, so that is our finished baseball heart. And we'll bring that up here. And again, we'll just use our arrow keys to nudge it into place. And there we have it. A really good looking little design there. And, it didn't take that much effort. Now, let's take a look at the hotfix version of our little baseball heart, because you're going to be really impressed. Impressed enough to spend $500 on the software? Well, I don't know. Like I said, there are some limitations to the software when you really get in and take a look at it. But I want to show you how quickly we can create a baseball heart with hotfix. So again, we're going to take our artwork here and we're going to export it, and we'll call it mini heart, and we'll hit OK. And then we'll go into hotfix. And let's create a new design. Let's go ahead and open up a file, and we look for mini heart. There it is. There's our mini heart. And we're going to convert to hotfix, and it converts it. And then all we need to do is change the color of this. Now, there's no easy way to edit things in hotfix. So what I like to do is I like to go ahead and export this result back to CorelDRAW. So we'll click on this bead button to put all the beads in one file, and then we'll call it mini heart baseball and hit save. And then we'll go back over here to CorelDRAW and we'll hit import. And again, we'll go to views and let's look up. I've got so much stuff on my desktop. There is mini heart baseball right there. Click OK and drop it in. And this is the result we get from hotfix. Okay? So again, it's not perfect. You can see here, right here at this intersection, we had a similar issue. But you can see all of these are all SS10 stones. That is one advantage here. So we're going to select the whole lot and come in here and hit Crystal Rename and Fill. And then we're going to take these stones here, just like we did. I'm just selecting them all. And let's go back to Light Cyan, Rename and Fill. And you can see that these stones are touching. So, you know, you might have to make a small adjustment there. And every other stone, rename and fill. And the same thing here, every other stone, rename and fill. And do the same thing here, every other stone, rename and fill. Or actually, all these stones are. Change that color, and then every other stone here we're going to rename and fill. And you can see there's a bit of a gap there, so it's not exactly like our baseball heart, but you can kind of compare the two that way. And so yes, ours is probably a bit more exact. But this was obviously produced much quicker, and for most folks that result would be perfectly acceptable. Not for me, so I'm a bit more picky. So anyhow, this would be my result, and I think that looks pretty good. So I hope you enjoyed this one and learned a little bit about how to create fills without using a fill tool. And then also some alternatives when you're working with other rhinestone software that is available to you as well. Thanks for watching.